What's that? I'm live. Okay. Well, I guess we're live here. I hope everybody's having a wonderful enough time. Is it working? It sounds good. Oh, good. Thank you for letting me know. It's really an issue of this sound thing. I mean, this is weird. It's on.
It's not coming through from me or from Wes.
Oh, it's coming through here. Hey, Rich, your podcast makes my week. So people are looking at it. Have to refresh, I guess. Down to Colombia. Hey, hi, Colombia. Wow, how cool is that? So this is under another podcast. Actually, can you tell Gail that? It's a different name. It just says Sunday. Could you tell her that? Outside of Nashville. Awesome. How's the weather down there? I bought a guitar from a guitar store in Nashville. Idaho. Wow. Idaho has the freshest air you ever want to breathe. We were up there for my grandson's graduation from lineman school. And man, I couldn't believe how fresh the air was. Everybody's moving there. It won't be like that long. Do you guys like this close view and the long view, or do you want just the long view or just the close view? Any comment on that would be appreciated. Okay. Anyway, thanks for joining me. That's really nice of you guys to come and do this. I posted last time, I did it on Sunday and asked for questions or topics anybody wanted to talk about. Nobody emailed me, but if you want to talk about both views, good. Okay. Oh. Okay, so humidity, man, is really a bear on guitars. You can't have too much and you can't have too little. So you really got to be careful. In the summertime, it's so humid back in Nashville and back east and stuff. Take the humidifiers out of your guitars. Don't leave them in there. I just had a guy with an L5 do that. He had actually 2 humidifiers in there because he's so afraid of the wood drying out, which is understandable. That's all well and good in the winter, but in the summer when it's so humid, you take them out. So he did that. Are we good?
Yeah, Grandma.
Oh, good. So anyway, man, you really got to be careful. What is it, about 40 to 50% humidity is where you want to keep them. They're like a sponge, man. When they get humid, they swell up, and you'll notice your action is not so good. When it dries out, the top goes down, and the top on this guitar has gone down. And because I can just feel it, because now the action's too close. So I need to humidify this. I'm not really humidifying where I live. I'm on the central coast of California. So anyway, the signal on your end is cutting in and out. Well, I hope that's not for everybody, but anyway. Nashville's hot. Yeah, man. Jeez. One of the most beautiful song of all time. Okay, got some reception is good here in super hot and humid Charleston, South Carolina. I was in Charleston once at a Christian conference, and we have a booth for Guitar College in the sales area, and it's for churches, and we're trying to educate worship leader guys and guys in church bands and stuff. We're offering courses in that, and so this I'm playing in the booth, and a guy comes over, and he just a little guy, and he says, says, I always wanted to be a singer. Everybody says I sound good and everything. I always wanted to be a singer, but never really did anything. And so he says, can I sing you a song? Now, I've had this happen before, and it's like, oh, really? Okay, what do you want to do? And he says, well, how about Misty? And so he says, okay. I said, what key? And he said, here's my starting note. And he gave me the note, and it turns out it was just in the key of C. So I give him this beautiful intro. And he goes, look at me. And the most gorgeous voice came out of this guy. I could not believe it. And he just tore the freaking song up. I was like stunned. And I said, well, you know what you ought to do is quit your day job. He was really good. I don't know whatever happened to him, but turns out he was related to Brooke Benton. And man, could this guy sing. So you never know how things pan out and cross your path as you wander around and the people you meet. Look, I make it look easy. Well, it's an illusion. There's finger memory, and a lot of times you rely on that. But I tell you what made a big difference for me is, number one, playing softly, and also playing every day. Every day I wake up, I play for at least an hour and a half. And I just play and enjoy the instrument. I don't study then, and I should, because I've been really relaxed on writing out lessons and stuff, just because I've done so many. What happened to me is I sat down and wrote some couple of lessons out and get them all loaded up and ready to distribute. And turns out I had already done similar lessons. And I'm like, oh, well, that was a good idea, but I already did it. So I'm like, something's wrong here. I must be like freaking out. But anyway. I'm Disneyed out here. Disneyed out here. Come with the territory when, Disneyland, wherever he is, he's over by Disneyland. Yes, I am in my new house, and it's kind of a little different. We're in a retirement kind of area. It's we went from 15 acres to a manufactured home. We had a huge house, a lot to take care of, and we're just kind of enjoying it. Like, we went to the beach, and we've done, company comes and visits us, and we have a good time. When there was music playing, there was a lot of music over here. And so that's why we moved here. Plus my one daughter and her sons are over here. So I have 6 grandkids and 5 great grandkids and another one on the way, I guess. So anyway, oh, he went. Listens to. If you have or got the Disney Channel, yeah, I hear that, man. You're sorry for you. So one of the things, well, what do you want to do? Um, sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes not so lucky. One of these days, I'm going to write that one out and figure out what I'm doing on that. So, hey, good looking. Thank you. Yeah, that's Hank Williams. You guys ever heard that Roy Clark and Joe Pass album? Really a nice album, man. I love Joe Pass. I love Roy Clark, man. Two different kind of players, but both are sensational. The bass player I worked with used to play with Roy Clark. This is a Heritage Golden, not a Golden Eagle, a Heritage Eagle Classic. I ordered this about a year ago. I haven't done many lessons with it, but I gig with it all the time. And I, right out of the box, swear to God, I haven't done a thing to this guitar. It is just a fantastic sounding guitar. Now, I had the inlays added because I wanted to use it for lessons, so you got to have that. But I tell you, right out of the box, freaking fantastic. And the course, I set it up with my strings and stuff, but I don't know if you can see the finish on this. Gorgeous sunburst finish. The guitar comes in 2 colors, sunburst and blonde, and it takes about 6 months to get. And I just really try to get a good price for my students on them. I'm going to order some, 1 or 2, some. It's kind of a commitment. So I love the guitars. I like the Texas Troubadours myself. Yeah, absolutely. All of me. You learned all of me today? Awesome. All of me. Great tune. You know, sometimes I always kind of think, yeah, it's kind of a hokey tune, you know. I actually have a nice solo for that, and I like the song. Actually, I played it with my jazz teacher at a gig a couple weeks ago in Cambria, and he wanted to do that tune, and so yeah, let's do it. I love that tune, but I always thought it was kind of a hokey kind of tune, you know. It's one that Lawrence Welk would do as well as Sonny Stitt or something. I think there's a Sonny Stitt version of this where he just freaking rips on it, and I'm going to study that solo one of these days. Kindly play Beyond the Sea. Oh, well, sure. I love that tune. Makes me think of my parents. My wife and I love that tune. Bobby Darin. Holy crap. Let's see, how's it go? You know, wait a minute. It goes like that. Something like that. That's one of those tunes, man. Like you learn the arrangement, and if you don't play it all the time, you're in deep doo doo. There's a story about Chet where they said somebody asked him to play a song, and he said, "Do you realize I would have to practice that for about 3-4 weeks before I could play it again?" And that's true, you know, just because, like, especially somebody records something, it's like, wow, you got to know it instantly, you know, like a jukebox. But luckily, I love that tune and play it quite often. So good call. Call some other ones that I know. I look back at some of the lessons that I've done and I think, geez, how did that go? Anyway, love Sunny Sits. See, it sounded great. Gary Turner. Gary, what's happening, man? How are you? Gary's been to our workshops and stuff. Since all the gigs have been canceled, I've been home recording. Very sobering. The Latin and straight 4 stuff is cool. The swing ain't swinging that hard. Any suggestions? Remember, the swing feel isn't a dotted eighth and a 16. It's a triplet feel. So you got to go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And the slower the tempo, the more loping it is. Instead of counting at 1 and 2, count it as ooh, be, do, ooh, be, ooh, be, ooh, be, ooh, be. So you have a long, short, long, short, long, short. And that kind of feel is the way to do it. So you might do, you might think of it as a blues tune when you're doing a triplet jazz feel. Like My Babe. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and be. And now when you go to play your lines, all right, so you're going, you can go but you go, make sure you're in 1, 2, 3, 4. They're coming to take me away, ha ha, hee hee ho ho. All right, so there's the feel of it. As the tempo gets faster, then the 8th note straightens out a little. So then it doesn't, so you hear how it doesn't, it's not so much as the ooby, okay? So maybe that'll help you. The swing feel, a lot of guys, and I like to do this too, if there's a slow swing, instead of trying to play boop ba doop ba doop. I mean, that's good. You can get in the groove, but sometimes it's a little hipper to play a little straighter. And it kind of interacts with the triplet feel. So something to think about. So, but Gary, how are you enjoying your don't your heritage? It was the Kenny Burrell 16-inch Kenny Burrell. What is that called again? I forget. That was a beautiful guitar. He ordered it through me, and we got it for him and set it up. I hope you're still playing that. One-man band. It can happen to you. Pensacola Luxury Homes. Cool. I noticed the luxury home person has quite a exquisite taste. So let's see. Oh yeah. Let's see. Something like that with a bad ending. Yeah, it took me a while to remember that. It could happen to you. I think that was it. Thank you, Don Myers. That's the name. Hey, Don, how's it going? Donald Doyle. One note samba. How do you solo over it? Excuse me for laughing. That's one of those songs. It's basically rhythm changes. You can solo over rhythm changes. You can probably solo over anything. Let's see. I got a looper down here. I'm going to attempt to use it. Whoops. This looper's got a mind of its own. I got to start all over. Sorry, guys. Looper. I used to work with them a lot, and it's like, after a while, it's like, I remember learning this. I was quite young. Jazz lick number 1. So basically, when you're going, if we're in a key of B flat, you're going D minor, G7, but you're going to D flat 9, which is a tritone substitution for G7. C minor 7, and then C7. That's the A section, right? And then it goes to the 4 chord. F minor, B flat, then to the 4, and then the 4 minor. Then 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. So you got 2 choices. You could probably play within a key. I mean, it's hard. Or you play around the chord changes. And that is not an easy song. So that's why I have, by the way, several lessons on soloing over that tune. But one thing that you could do right away, and I did this in a video for playing around a turnaround. Basically, one note samba is a long turnaround, right? Because 1, 6, 2, 5 instead of, but you got 4 beats per thing. Here's an idea. If we go play a lick, there's a lick for B flat. If I go up a minor third, now I could use that as a D flat over the G7. Now if I play that same lick up a 4th, was that it? No. And then up a 4th again. So here's my target notes. This, 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 this. So let's hear if that works. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me do it again. Here I go. It kind of works a little bit. We have conflict with the C minor, and I'm playing C dominant here. But whatever. Conflicts are meant to be resolved. So if you got a conflict, just resolve it or change it to minor. So that's one approach, going up a minor third, then a 4th, and then a 4th again. Another idea, up a minor third, up a whole step, And then down a half step. Okay, so here's my lick for B flat, my lick for G7. And now if I go up a whole step, it'll work to go around up a fourth as far as going around the cycle. And if I go up another, it'll work. That's another whole step. So let's see. Here we go. Okay, I only got one opportunity to do that. All right, let me do it again. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3. Bingo. So here's something to kind of remember. If you're playing, let me see if I can properly describe this. If I have a G7, here's a G7 lick. If I want to go now a fourth above, I could go a half step below or a whole step above. And I get altered tones. So now I would have, here's G7. And now go a half step lower. Go a half step below that. And now I get right around the cycle of fourths. So if I put a B flat, something in front of that. Let's see if that works. Right? It kind of worked. So you can take altered. It's basically like diminished. Why didn't I say that? Look at if here's a B flat, and now the next chord is G7. Here's a B diminished. The next chord is C7, B flat diminished, right? Next chord's F7, A diminished. So you can go down in half steps, up in whole steps. Here's B flat. Here's G7 extension, G7. And then I go up a whole step now. That's C7. Go up another whole step. That's F7. So. And then what did I say? Up a whole step for. I don't know. That's a complicated song, my friend. You'll spend a long time doing that. I hope that helped you in any way. Well, you've kind of got a handle on it. You can always refer to a tone, you know. So when soloing over those changes, also you can refer to the moving tones. You know, so yeah, there's a lot of, man, I can't think in modes. Sorry. My favorite mode is the Bolognian. The problem with modes is I would rather look at how I interpret a chord and play the home key as opposed to learning more modes, so learning a fingering. Modes are good for learning the fingering of a scale that's all around the neck, And so when you play the modes, that's great. I have a better, I think it's easier thinking. Let me put it this way. In the key of A minor to D7, that's Dorian, right? That sound, that's 2, 5. Centering around the 2. Let's say we're doing evil ways. Okay, now instead of saying, okay, I'm going to play A Dorian, I'm going to say A Dorian is G major. So now it's really no different in it's just in the way you think. But if I say you can also play in the key of G everything that exists in the key of G. So in other words, what exists? A minor, B minor, C major, C, D dominant, E minor, F sharp minor 755, G. All those arpeggios will sound good against that. So let me get rid of this a second. I'm going to show you what I mean. All right, so here's A Dorian. Well, that's blues. All right. Now, if I just say, hey, that's in the key of G, so play whatever exists in the key of G. G major 7. Also, B minor 7, right? C major 7. D7. E minor. F sharp minor 7, flat 5. So you get a lot more sounds instead of thinking A Dorian. And that applies to everything with modes. It's how you interpret that chord, what key that's in, and then everything that exists in that key can be played against it. And Wes Montgomery was always doing that. Rarely would he play, if it's an A minor going to D, if he would play that arpeggio. He would go something like this. So he's playing around everything except A. So when you say A Dorian, you're kind of locked into A Dorian. Does that make sense? Anyway, that's how I like to think about the modes. And by the way, I have a wonderful study on that. The secret, okay. All right, so yeah, there's, when you're talking about soloing ideas, there's a lot of them. One of them, rhythmic filters. Rhythmic filters, a rhythmic filter is basically taking a lick with a rhythm filter. So in other words, I'm taking a rhythm filter, applying it to different ideas. Another different notes. Another thing would be Echoing. Octave below. It's like a question answer. Sequencing. Sequencing is where you take a cell and apply it to different scale degrees. So there's three things that, and by the way, I have which I noticed a lot of guys don't ever download these lessons, but if you go to theory on the 99 cent guitar lesson site, and if you go to, it says jazz improv theory. There's a whole bunch of lessons in detail on those soloing techniques. You like the rhythm filter idea? Yeah, and it makes soloing more fun. See, the problem is when you solo a lot of times, and I do it too, you have idea after idea after idea, and no development. So if you take an idea and develop it, it hooks the listener. You know, as opposed, all right, if I just play a bunch of ideas. I can't help but kind of solo. I can't do it. Well, hold on. I can't do it right now. I can't do a bunch of ideas. I can only do the developing. So anyway, but yeah, if you get my idea, it's like too many ideas. So this kind of type of progression is a good one to do it on. What time is it? It's got to be about midnight, isn't it? Trayman?
It's 5:58.
Oh. By the way, I was just reminded, I am working on a whole new website that is called Jazz Guitar Improv. And it's going to be strictly talking about improvisation, single notes. We might have some chordal things because you can improv with chords. Okay, so we've got a whole website in the works on that, and I'm going to redo a lot of videos. And I hope you're on my mailing list so you can be aware of that. If you go to 99 Cent Guitar Lessons and get on the mailing list, or if you've ever purchased anything in the past, then you'll automatically be on there. Yeah, check out those improv jazz soloing ideas on Theory page. I think I will check it out. I love melodic development. That's where it's at, and that hooks the listener. That's what really hooks the listener. So, I really enjoyed this. Y'all come back next week now. like I said, man, guitar, it's just when you think you got it licked, it's like ice cream. It drips all over you. So anyway, thank you for joining me. And we're going to try to do this again next week. So be on the lookout. I hope I got to everybody's questions. Greg Hartline, what's happening? My Las Vegas guitarist. I'm going to try to do it every Sunday at 5 o'clock. I think that's kind of a nice time, right before dinner or right after dinner for some of those people on the East Coast. So try to do it. And again, if you've got questions, you can always email me, Rich at Guitar College, and we can take care of that. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Adios.